Today, we're making ramen with braised pork belly, better known as hong sha ru. So if you're ready to dive right in and learn how to make this dish, stay tuned because this recipe is up next. Here I've got about 1.5 pounds of pork belly, and as you can see, it pretty much resembles bacon. We've got the skin on here, which we're going to keep. Most people like to do this in the oven and crisp that up, but we're going to leave it on and soften it up instead. I want to flip it over here though, so you can see it's about the length of my finger, maybe about 2.5 to 3 inches. We're going to cut this in half down the full length of this pork belly, and you want to be sure to use a real sharp knife to get through that skin. And once we've got that cut all the way through, we'll turn our pieces sideways here, and we'll cross grain our cuts into cube portions. This will make nice bite-sized pieces that will braise and cook more evenly. And as we cut our last pieces here, we can take a closer look, and you can see the layers here really are just like an uncured piece of bacon. But instead of frying these pieces, we're going to take it to the stove in a pot of hot boiling water and poach these for about 20 minutes. We're also going to need to cut a few slivers of unpeeled fresh ginger. Now we can go ahead and strain our pork belly, get rid of all that water, then take it right back to the stove, and over medium heat we'll start adding our ingredients, starting with some soy sauce. Now here I've got some Mishu cooking wine, and you can use white wine if you don't have this, some brown sugar, some pickling spice, lots of yummy ingredients in there, chili flakes, anise, and last but not least, our fresh ginger. Now you want to top this off with some water. Just bring it right to the top of that pork. And this is the sauce it's going to marinate in, so just give it a quick stir here and then cover with a lid. And this pork belly will braise for about 1.5 hours, but you want to turn the heat down to a simmer. Now, good homemade ramen has vegetables, and here I've got some baby bok choy, and you can serve it whole like this, or you can chop off the ends here. I don't like taking off the end of celery. Gives you some nice little portions. And you want to wash these first if you're not going to cut them. Wash them after if you do. We're also going to chop up some green onion. Much like tacos, I like to top off my ramen with scallions. Now here we are 1.5 hours later, checking in on our braised pork belly. So you can see it's absorbed that color nicely. And now that meat will be really tender, so there's no point to continue cooking, so we'll go ahead and turn that heat down to low and just keep it warm. Now to make a quick soup base, I'm going to use Knorr's beef bouillon here. Follow the package instructions and add that. I'm not affiliated with these guys, I just think it tastes the best without having to wait 3 hours to make your own beef broth from scratch. But I do have a great beef bone broth video tutorial if you'd like to watch that sometime. Now as far as the noodles go, I like to use a frozen yakisoba noodle that I thaw out, and it's ready to go like a fresh noodle right when I need it. But first we need to cook that baby bok choy just by adding it here to that broth. It only takes about 5 to 7 minutes to do this, and it will even help season this broth with a little bit more vegetable flavor. But this is also real easy to overcook, so make sure you pull this out before 7 minutes passes. Now we can go ahead and add our noodles to that same broth, and these take about 2 to 3 minutes to cook is all. And now we're about ready to plate. We got our noodles, we've got our braised pork belly. Let me show you how we do this. Add a handful of fresh spinach to a bowl, and then drop your noodles right over the top of that. Now add your cooked bok choy to one side, then ladle in the braised pork belly. And I like to add this to the opposite side of the bok choy, cut in a half crescent shape. Now to ladle in some broth, and this is a large bowl, so it's going to take a few scoops. But it's important to finish off with about 3 ounces of our braised pork belly sauce. Now just top it off with those fresh chopped scallions. And there you have it, braised pork belly with noodles, right here in the Poor Man's Gourmet Kitchen. Thank you for watching, and be sure to stop by PoorMansGourmetKitchen.com for more recipes and exact ingredients.